Well, Jordan and Alyssa, blowing up a Tesla Supercharger really takes all this to the next level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just a bit.
So we have not really covered the whole like craziness going on out there with people keying Teslas or even just like the protests or little things like that, because we review cars, not people, not products. I mean, we only products, I should say. We really, we just focus on the cars, and we've always stayed pretty like down the line, like in general. Like I think everyone at Out of Spec, maybe excluding Max, but everyone's pretty not political. Like we as much as we can, like, I just think we stay out of what's happening. We're so consumed by vehicles and vehicle testing that it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. For me personally, it's not my place to comment on politics because I'm not an expert and I have no idea what the heck's going on. I just want to drive cars sideways. However, we cover Tesla very closely on Out of Spec, and I think it's definitely time maybe we start sharing some stories, if anything, just to like talk about what's going on out there. And we've certainly, as Cybertruck owners, have experienced it firsthand of just the insane level of hatred that you get on the roads. And while I feel like maybe it's dying off a little bit right now, what happened last night or this morning, by the time this goes up, it would have been the previous day, is just really taking things to the next level, because the rumor, it's not, nothing's been fully validated. Let's just say, nothing's proven until whatever happens. But it seems like someone blew up a fucking supercharger station, Jordan. Like literally blew it up.
Yeah, that's what it's pointing to. So what we know is, I guess, 1:34 a.m. Washington time, so Pacific.
Well, yeah, Washington
because
State.
This is Washington. Yeah, we got some confused earlier because we said Washington DC charger, but it was a DC charger in Washington, not a charger in Washington DC.
Right. The comma placement matters.
Right. But yeah, this was in what was the town called? I'm blanking, but
Lacey, Washington.
Yes, right. So that's where it happened, and I guess officers received multiple calls about loud noises, and they went to the scene and found, I guess, what appears to be bombing fragments. I mean, it's hard because there's a lot of people speculating, was it really a bomb? Like, was it just something exploding in the, I don't know.
So you can put up the picture, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. So this was posted by Lawson, who goes by the Twitter handle Bankwept. And he actually runs or contributes to supercharge.info, which is one of the best websites out there for charging nerds, because they track the permitting process, installation, expansion, and everything to do with the Tesla Supercharger network.
Right.
So if you ever want to look for a supercharger, don't go to like Tesla.com. You go to supercharge.info, which I've used for years.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be rolling up on 10 years. I've been like at least multiple times a week going on that site looking for superchargers. So I don't know if, and he did not post this originally. He just shared it onto X.
Yes, original credit goes to Dan Soley on Facebook.
Right, which he posted in the Pacific Northwest Tesla group. Now, he said, the original post was Lacey Supercharger is going to be offline for a while, with a couple photos of like a blown up supercharger cabinet and stuff everywhere, a caution tape, other things like that. Updated the post later on to say, update, it was a bombing.
Wow. FBI
is here. We own the property adjacent and are looking through cameras.
Wow.
So that seems pretty like clear that it's like, he's like pretty convinced it's a bombing.
Yeah. I mean, the FBI is involved. So that means it's a bit more than just a local terrorism attack or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I don't feel like FBI.
A local terrorism attack. That's an interesting one.
I don't know. There's so many different phrases for it right now. I have no clue what to call it.
Well, everyone's calling these, or not everyone. Okay, there is like a group of people that's like anything hatred Tesla-wise is considered an act of terrorism.
Well, that was actually Trump's word as well. He was like, okay, from now on, this is what they're called.
Okay.
But yeah, I do think FBI means it's probably not just a transformer exploding.
Right.
Right. And it does seem like, if we just look at the damage really quick before we put labels and words and stuff on there, it does seem like one of the version 3 supercharging cabinets blew, and it hit the switch gear. It damaged an adjacent cabinet as well, and it definitely looks pretty spicy, whatever happened there. But nothing crazy. No one was hurt as far as we can tell. There may have been a couple superchargers that had like shrapnel hit stuff. You can see all the cables have fallen out of the dispensers because I'm sure it was a big boom and it shook everything out from their mounts. But in general, this seems like a pretty low power situation in terms of a bomb.
It could be a disgruntled Tesla customer who really wants V4 cabinets in there.
They're like, damn, let's get the 500 kilowatt output out of this thing. So, what Tesla charging responded with, which further indicates like, hey, there might actually be, some outside influence here. It's not just a power cabinet exploding. Although, to be totally transparent, like, it's very possible, I guess. It's probably it's likely this was targeted. Also, there just does seem to be like extra Tesla hate in like the Pacific Northwest.
Right.
Just in general. And here in Colorado, which is...
I was going to say, you guys been driving your Cybertruck around for, about a year now.
Yeah.
How's that been?
It went from very excited people to, oh, that's kind of ugly, to like, oh, that's really cool, to... you're a Nazi.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the fact that I was just driving Walter, our Newfoundland, to class the other day, and he was just having his head out the window, and this lady literally just yelled at him and said he was an ugly dog because he was in a Cybertruck. And it's just like, you really are going to hate on a dog? Really? We've come to this? So it's just the comments and everything that's happened is just absolutely insane. But on the contrary, once that happened, I kid you not, another couple rolled up right beside me. I was already nervous. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't really want to look at you. And they were trying to get my attention. And so I looked over and they were giving me a thumbs up and they're like, oh, that's really great. I love your car. And I was like, oh, wow, thank you. I'm so glad that this wasn't a hate comment because that's all I've been getting. And they're like, don't even worry about it. You're good. And just rolled off. And so that was two very separate extreme happenings in a matter of 5 minutes.
Yeah, the social impact of owning a not really like a normal Tesla, but a Cybertruck is very crazy, no question. But let's just bring it back to this blowing up a supercharger thing, because I think it's kind of interesting. Tesla charging responded very quickly. I want to say within an hour or less on Lawson's post, and they said, we're on site with Lacey Police and FBI. And Jordan, I think the FBI is getting involved with all Tesla related crimes at the moment. So that's to like dealerships or keying cars or whatever, because the thinking, I guess, is that it's a coordinated effort. I'm not really an expert on it, but anyway, FBI is involved with the Tesla situation.
There's been enough serious affronts that they're like, okay, they just assume the worst at this point, which is a cautious way to take it.
And they said they're reviewing camera footage. They're also coordinating with the local electric utility to get the superchargers back online as soon as possible. Their last sentence says, don't mess with critical infrastructure. Hell yeah, brother. I've always wanted to do the charger police thing. So Drew was saying, like, when we talked to him earlier, or maybe it was you, Jordan, but it's like you almost kind of just have to have like security or police at like every Tesla thing now.
Yeah.
That's the feeling.
I mean, even just charging at my local Tesla showroom just has superchargers, and they have constant security now. It's a really funny mall cop in a Chevy Trax.
We've got them when I go by at night by the showroom here. They've got a security guy. We picked up it was so funny. Alyssa and I went to pick up our Cybertruck from service. We roll up. I get in the Cybertruck and just take it from the lot. He never got out and asked us what we were doing.
I didn't even get out of the car. I literally just swapped into the other seat. And the guy just, obviously it was our car if we're able to get into it and drive away. But there was no questioning. There was no lights on. He might have just been sleeping, to be honest. I don't know what he was doing, but maybe enjoying a nice snack.
And they even put one of those, like, when you go to Walmart and you see like the police light thing with the cameras.
Yep.
They've got one of those at our local Tesla center as well.
Yeah.
So when our truck went in for service, when the motors blew on it, they actually parked it right next to that thing. So it could be under video surveillance. And I'm like, if someone's going to blow this thing up or key it, I want the best footage to put on YouTube. So anyway, pretty crazy that, it is important to say, like, it does appear like it could have been a localized power electronics issue. I don't think there's anything in there that would pop so hard to make that thing blow up, Jordan. And it is the first time we've ever seen anything like this with like a DC charger.
Right. You would expect that we would see more. And there is the possibility of that has happened. It just didn't become major news because now anything Tesla related is suddenly like a big headline.
Right. And we really haven't covered any of it, but I do feel like we cover charging so closely, especially on this channel and having Walter do the charging stuff. Like, this is where, like, I think, you know, of course, it's great to live in a free country where you can choose what products to buy and not to buy and vote with your dollars and, you know, protest if you really have nothing else going on that day that's useful.
Peacefully.
That's fine, whatever. Right. But to blow up a charging station, like, this is insane.
Yeah, it's very not, and it feels like maybe they're just trying to make a, like, I don't understand. Like a terrorism bomb situation usually involves like hurting people, and so thankfully, like you said, no one was hurt. This was in the middle of the night when there was apparently no one even there, but the police showing up to what was calls about noise. I mean, I guess this would be a noise for sure.
Oh, you would hear this for sure. Yeah.
But it's like, I mean,
but it's also like not that big of a bomb that it really did that much damage. Like, if you're going to blow something up, go hardcore.
When I saw the photos, I was like, that's not a bomb. That's
yeah,
that's like a science project or something.
Yeah.
Went wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was going to blow something up, it would be awesome. wouldn't just end up with one cabinet going. The whole thing would have a crater in the ground.
Right.
But not this person. This person just was kind of a wimp.
Well, and what we see is a lot of petty crime is just someone who really doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, we see a lot of, you know, back when cable cutting was a big thing, it was someone doing it right under a security camera because they just weren't smart enough to look for that or something. It's like a lot of criminals are just not super smart about it. And if they are, then that's where the movie comes out about them. But most criminals don't get movies made out of it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, I just hope we don't see this proliferate. So I think that's the first thing is like, totally get that people are upset. Totally cool if you don't want to buy the product. If you don't want to buy the product, don't buy another product and then charge on superchargers. I've seen that a lot. Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
even
seen
did
that,
a poll
Jordan?
about that. And,
yeah?
I could look up the results, but just the comments in general were like, yeah, I'm going to charge wherever I need to charge, but I don't like Tesla. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. Just contradicting a little bit.
Yeah, I just think you got to take a stand, and then also, like, does it really make a difference? I don't know.
No, but it does to them and their hearts.
Yeah, you got to feel good about whatever you're doing.
It makes them feel like they're doing something, and that's kind of like the main gist of all of this stuff. It just makes people feel like they're a part of something.
I just feel like people got to have something to be mad about.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do, I guess.
And here's one thing to be mad, whatever. It just seems like a weird thing to get mad about. I mean, I get there's a lot of other things going on there, but it's just a car company.
Yeah.
From my perspective. I really don't know what's happening government-wise, but like, it's a car company that, what has Tesla ever done? Tried to make electric cars work.
It's just some little employees just trying to make a living and put food on their table, and they're getting ostracized and harassed. It's just terrible.
And the owners are too. We are as owners.
Yeah. So it's just, I'm like, I just driving my dog to the park. I mean, not doing anything offensive.
Yeah. So with all that said, I guess the question is, this is the first time we're really covering it, this type of topic. It's not really our thing. That's why we're putting it on the Bits channel, of course, because this is where we can talk about whatever. But do people want us to do more things? Because our buddy Dan here in town, Spotted Model, everyone should follow Spotted Model on Twitter. Dan's hilarious. Yeah. But also, he's been like tracking all of the keying situations.
He's passionate.
He's like into this.
He's passionate.
And I feel like we should almost have Dan come by with the highlight clips.
Yeah.
And run through like what's been going on.
Yeah, we definitely could.
And I feel like that should keep everyone happy, right? The people who hate Tesla will be like, look at all these cars getting keyed. And the people that have Teslas will be like, great, get those people in jail.
Right. It's easy to talk about it all because now there's so much that's happened. Like the first few ones, we were like, is this going to be a thing? And now
it's definitely a thing.
It's a thing.
Definitely a thing.
Is it dying off though? What do you think?
I've seen less recent news. Like it feels like it's less of a thing than it was maybe 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago was peak.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, we almost couldn't drive the truck around.
Yeah. And that's when I was getting, I haven't personally had any like people attacking, but I've had a few moments where I was like, flinching because someone walked up to me somewhat aggressively. Oh, but usually it was to ask, they usually wanted to know if I've been affected. Like, they're just curious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't coming after me. They were like, have you been come after?
Yeah.
Or they were like commenting on the wrap color.
Oh, okay. It's just how ugly it is.
No, they actually all love it.
Why is our neighbor here just smashing these gates right when we're recording? It's like, let's just gorilla make as much noise as possible.
Sorry, these mics are good.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess, should we cover this more? What do you guys think in the comments? We really don't want to get political here because
There's no need.
if we just cover cars. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't, whatever people think, that's fine. Let them think that. But just don't blow superchargers up.
Yeah, I think there is no need to get political. It's just we're showing what's happening, and this is some crazy stuff that's happening. And so, regardless of political stance, what's interesting is a lot of people do a line that, but both sides of the aisle, they're like, this is too far.
Yeah.
There's just no need for violence. I think that, and I think a lot of people can agree with that. And the people who don't, I know they're in jail. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think of myself as very down the middle. Like, I can see definitely arguments on both sides of the equation.
Right.
And this just, I don't know anyone who could think this isn't going too far.
Yeah.
If you're a rational person.
Right.
So we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Don't
Hopefully.
blow up damn charging stations.
Don't blow
These
anything
were,
up.
like, by the way, half the people that are like mad at Tesla were the ones that were like super environmentally people anyway. Listen, this guy's just letting the gates slam over here, right in the middle of a show.
Terrorism.
I got to talk to this guy. This is out of spec terrorism. Is YouTube going to cut monetization because we keep mentioning terrorism? Is that like a trigger word for YouTube?
It might be.
I feel like there's no way, because how would people talk about it?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
But it could be
Good
interesting.
experiment. Yeah.
Anything else to cover on this? There hasn't been any updates as far as I can tell.
No, the comments are all just very, this is crazy. Why are we doing this?
Okay, yeah.
So hopefully we have more information. Like we said, this is the first day of it happening as we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just hope whoever did this gets like put in prison for a really long time.
that's what everyone's kind of.
There's supposed to be. I think I read something. There's supposed to be some camera footage that they're looking through as well. So if there's any movement or anything that has been involved with this, they will definitely know that if there's a person involved or your local cat.
And if anyone wants to hear an episode of Alyssa talking about what it's been like to daily drive a Cybertruck through all of this, because you drive it more than anyone else,
I do.
then let's hear that in the comments and we can do that.
That should happen. People like Alyssa's thoughts. Model Y, they all loved it.
I was told not to read those comments.
Oh, that was on the Model Y first drive, but we're talking about when you said you hated the Model Y.
Oh, yeah, that podcast episode.
Oh, yeah, that
yeah.
podcast.
That was
I
actually
didn't read those comments
well,
either.
that was mostly well received. Yeah, people like your thoughts. So
Yeah,
well,
a lot of people agreed Model Y's a piece of shit until the new one came out.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I like the new one. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't buy it, but it's good.
there you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
That's a glowing review.
Well, that's all you need to know. Easy does it.
All right, Jordan, wrap this thing up.
Yep. Well, thanks for watching.
Goodbye.